Okay, this could take a really long time.
This is a whole episode.
So I'm going to narrow it down to like, if I were stranded on an island and I could only choose 5 books to take with me, what books would I take? My soon-to-be 13-year-old daughter is looking for teen books to read over this summer. Do you have any suggestions? Well, as a matter of fact, we do.
Yes, and you just hit like our love language talking about books. Like that's
and we both have
language.
Had 13-year-old daughters.
Yes, it's true. And we both been 13-year-old daughters, and we both love to read.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go first. I started pulling books from my bookshelf, and then I was like, okay, this could take a really long time.
This is a whole episode.
So I'm going to narrow it down to like, if I were stranded on an island and I could only choose 5 books to take with me, what books would I take? So these are the books that I feel like for myself and my girls have been enjoyable to read. There's so many that are going through my head, but I'm going to give you some resources too. The ones that have been most enjoyable and most impactful for us are The Hiding Place. I think both of my girls have read The Hiding Place.
Yep.
I've read it probably 5 or 6 times. My girls have both read it at least 2 or 3 times.
And I would say that's one to read with her. Honestly, I think it'd be so good to read with her.
Yes. Yeah. It's
there's some heavy
stuff in there. Yes, it's true. But I would say I wouldn't read The Hiding Place below middle school. I feel like middle school is the perfect time to start reading The Hiding Place. I wouldn't read it earlier than 7th grade for sure. And if you have a very immature 7th grader or 8th grader, I would maybe wait till high school to read it. It's all about the Holocaust, and it is tough to read sometimes, but man, it's so good. And I call this the Corrie ten Boom trilogy. So The Hiding Place, Tramp for the Lord, which was also written by Corrie ten Boom, and that's her life after the war, and it's so good. And she talks about going out and how she ministered to the world, literally the world, telling about her story of having been in Ravensbrück and just what God did and how he worked in her through her family. And it's just an incredible story. And then there was another one that was written by one of her assistants. Oh, I can't remember her, Pamela, somebody, I think is her name. It's called The 5 Silent Years of Corrie ten Boom. And that is such a good book. I want to say all of them are my favorites. They're not, but once you read The Hiding Place, she could easily read Tramp for the Lord and The 5 Silent Years on her own. And they are literally life-changing. And then the other book that I would say is Kisses from Katie by Katie Davis Majors. That book, again, for both my girls and I, was life-changing. And we read that when Brooklyn was probably 12, maybe. I want to say 12 or 13. So Lacey would have been, 7-ish, somewhere around that. So that one could be read to smaller kids, but that's a younger kid would not pick up that book and read it. That book is perfect for a middle school girl. And I know Abby's got a bunch to share, but I do want to share just 2 resources with you. One of them is called Honey for a Child's Heart. And this was written, I want to say probably in the 80s. I don't know. So it's a little bit dated, but I mean, there's just a ton of really great resources in here of books that you can read. And I love what she does is she gives kind of a summary of the different books that she suggests in here. And so these you can start with young kids, and it's just it's a book of books is what it is. But there's also another one written by the same author, Gladys Hunt, and it's called Honey for a Teen's Heart. And so there's Honey for a Child's Heart and Honey for a Teen's Heart. This one for teenagers is fantastic. And again, I love it because it's hard to answer this question because every child has different interests in books. But in this book, she goes through book lists that will help you choose what is good for your child or what they would enjoy. And so there's adventure and suspense. There's contemporary, fantasy, historical, mystery, nonfiction, science fiction, sports. And it is written from a Christian worldview. So I won't say that I agree with every single book that she lists in here because I've obviously not read them all, but you can look at what genre your kids like. And again, it gives kind of a synopsis, a description of what the book is about in here. And then she even gives a guideline for if it's good for early teens, middle teens, late teens, or all ages. And this is just a fantastic resource to have. Again, it's called Honey for a Teen's Heart. So this would be a great resource for her. And we will put links to these all in the show notes. So, Abby, what do you have?
Well, you hit it. Hiding Place is hands down one of the best. I think you do need to know your child, if kind of what age to do that one. Another one, if they love that genre, and this is maybe it's kind of in the same, it's called Saving My Assassin. I just read it. It's phenomenal.
You told me about that one.
I know. It is mind-blowing. It's kind of along the same, the same lines. But I would say, and Yvette kind of hit it, that know their genre. I think summer reading for me is just letting the kids pick in their own genre that they love. And if you're having a kid that you want to get into books, let them stick with the genre they love. And then every once in a while, throw something else in. But then if you have like a reader that loves all of it, I kind of have tried to do this challenge of like, I'm trying to read 2 books in each genre because I get stuck in historical or true. So, try a new genre. But there are so many book lists because here's the thing. Once you hit 13, there is no way to pre-read all the books. Like it is impossible, especially homeschool families who have more than one child. And so find the really good book list that you can trust. And one that Yvette and I use a lot is the Not Consumed. If you go to notconsumed.com, she has a book list in there. I think if you sign up and it gets emailed as a PDF, but there is such a phenomenal book list, and you can trust the books on there. Now that doesn't mean like that they don't have heavy content, but it's all, if it's heavy, it's like, okay, it's World War II, because guess what? World War II is heavy. But there's not going to be inappropriate things. So find good book lists. I love Not Consumed. The other thing you can do is go to like Sunlight. And even though if you're not a Sunlight person, like even if you don't use Sunlight curriculum, you have access to their book lists and you can trust those book lists as well. So, that's what I would suggest. It's so fun. I also think that is such a fun age to read books with your kids. Maybe not, yes, out loud is really fun, but my daughter and I, when she was that age, we read them simultaneously, but separately. Like she would be reading it at night and I would be reading it. And then we could just kind of talk about it or just know we're kind of, in the same place when we're reading. Fun. Yeah. It's fun to do. Yeah. You're in a fun age.
Yes, it is fun. I'm reading Heidi with Lacey right now by Johanna Spirey. I know. So Lacey, I read that to Brooklyn. Again, she was probably 11 or 12. So Lacey was pretty little. She was like 6 when we read that. And she remembers it, but at first she's like, no, we've already read that. And I was like, oh, but it's so good. Sometimes I just want to read it myself. Yeah. And so, because we always have a read aloud. She has a book that she's reading, but we always have a book that we're reading together that I read out loud. And so I said, can we please do Heidi again? So she's like, okay. And it's fun because it's really, it's been so many years. It's been like 8 years since we read it.
I need to read it. You always tell me, and I'm like, you watch the show and you're like, no. You can't. Watching the movie is not the same.
Nope. It's not. It's like reading Little House on the Prairie versus watching the Little House show. Like there's no comparison. Which Little House too? If your daughter has not read the Little House series,
those are my gosh, so fun.
So good. Yeah. So much fun. Start with book really 1 and work your way through the whole series. They are so fantastic. And you can listen to those on audio as well. Cherry Jones is one of the people who does the audio version of Little House, and it's fantastic. I love the way she reads. So if your daughter likes audiobooks, that's a great one. And even Boys Enjoy. We listened to the entire Little House series while we were traveling, and Garrett enjoyed them as much as my girls did. And he's a grown man.
There's a lot in there, and there's it's life, right?
Yes, it's life. It's not. Yeah. They're talking about building their family and building their homes and their journey. So it's incredible. Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.